Okay, well that concludes all the speakers we have booked for today. Well, there are a number of other people who've spoken to me saying they'd like to come up and just say a few words. So if there's any of those people now who'd like to just come forward and just say a little bit about why they're supporting Jeremy Corbyn.
Hello, my name is Des. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I haven't come prepared to speak, but the moment inspired me. I just want to say a few words that is not necessarily party specific, but in support of a decent leadership, because recent turn of events in politics has fueled a heightened level of race crime around the country. Not all reported. It once was the Pakistani people, it once was the black people, now it's the Polish people. Who the hell is it going to be next? And people are just fueling segregation within community instead of coming together as community. And I just want to take this opportunity to say, break down the barriers, let's not fuel any negativisms, and let's just stand together. The reason why that old saying still prevails, divided we fall, united we stand, is for a reason. We will not stand unless we stand as a community together. We will not stand unless we can educate each other by being supportive to each other. It needs a kind of social education that's not always within the school parameters. It's within individual, it's within self, and it's within everything you do. Everything you do by your action and kind words. If you're seeing someone who's being bullied, who's being put on, whatever their colour or creed, do something to help. Report it. It's another statistic, but it's better than it's nothing and goes unsaid. The recent times have just fueled a lot of negative, well, S-H-I-T, my little one's next to me. And really I just want to say, united we stand. So let's stand united. Social cohesion and community is what will pull us together. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, it's absolutely brilliant. I've also just spoken to, we've got Matthew in the audience who wants to just come up and say a few words as well.
I'm sorry, I've just lost something. I need you to help me to find it. Really urgently, I don't know where it is. I've lost my democracy. I can't find it anyway. I'm hoping that you can support me and find it, because I really urgently need it. I was going to bring my dictionary, but the word democracy, I was going to use my dictionary, but the word democracy has just disappeared from it. Someone's sabotaged it. I don't know how that's happened. I don't know where it's come from. I was going to read the definition of democracy and tell you what it was, but I think it's just easier to tell you what it isn't. Actually, you can see that for yourselves though, can't you? All you need to do is look at why we're here today, look at the behaviour of the parliamentary PMs, look at the behaviour of the press, the media, of everybody. This is why we're here today. I've lost my democracy. I really need you to help me to find this. I'm hoping that over the next few months you can do that for me, and that in September we can do that. That'd be great, yeah. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. We've got a couple more people who want to speak. I just want to mention as well the boring administrative part. Our entire expenses costs for today have been the expense of renting this PA system. So if you do feel like just donating a little bit just to support us with that, what we'll do is anything that's above the cost of that, we'll just donate to the Jeremy Corbyn campaign. So anything will be really much appreciated as well. Just going to call Ian up now. I wanted to just say a few words as well.
Cheers. Thank you. I think it's great that people have come on this day when there's an awful lot of other events on. People haven't been able to get here because of the one of the main roads into town being closed off, and that. So it's great to see so many people come here today to support Jeremy Corbyn, who, through his anti-austerity message, I think, has given inspiration to hundreds of thousands of working-class people, young people, retired people, people who want to see a different society, a society that works for the 99% and not one that's just run in the interests of those people at the top who seem to make money out of our misery all the time, who've benefited from this austerity, who cream off what's good from our society and leave us with the rest. So I think it's fantastic everyone's come out here today. But what I wanted to say is, I think, you know, that Jeremy I think he's very likely to win. You know, with all the people that have come out, with all the people that have signed up and paid £25, it's a lot of money, who paid that to vote for him, I can't see Jeremy losing in a fair vote. I mean, that's, of course, though, unfortunately, the question is whether it will be allowed a fair vote, whether we'll see the same things we saw last year of people being excluded from voting on spurious grounds, where we see what's happening, unfortunately, to some of the Labour parties up and down the country who've been suspended on spurious grounds. And that. Obviously, everybody opposes violence, intimidation, and so on. But for people who want to hold their representatives to account, that's not intimidation, that's democracy. And it's time that some of the MPs and the others who oppose that should learn that. What I want to finish saying with really is kind of where we go after that, because I think everyone's inspired by Jeremy, and it's a shame that he's been frustrated by some of the MPs and other people who've tried to undermine the anti-austerity message he's been trying to put forward. And I think what we need to do to go up beyond, forward from here is when Jeremy's re-elected, we need to push forward and make sure the Labour Party is an anti-austerity party for the 99% of the population. By doing so, I think we need to make sure that there's no more attacks on democracy. In fact, democracy should be enhanced. Members should be allowed to have meetings, to discuss whatever they want, whatever issues, should be allowed to get involved in campaigns. You know, the Labour Party, if it's to be a party that defends public services, it should be at the forefront of supporting the Hands Off HRI campaign. It should be at the forefront of campaigns around Black Lives Matter and anti-racism and other issues. And that we should be a campaigning organisation, and it should allow in everybody who wants to support that message, whatever they're passed. You know, we should say to the MPs, it's time for you to get on board with this message, but it's also time for everybody else who wants to join this. And let's have a party of 1 million people. Let's have a party that represents working class people in this country. Let's have a party that fights for that. But what we do need to do, and I'll say it's vital that this is opened up, and we involve the trade unions, we involve everybody. We have a local meetings that can involve all those people. We have a national conference that involves all those people who can take this anti-austerity message and not just go and win people in this election, but go out and win people to that message so that we can win a general election, we can turf the Tories out of office, and we can have a society, a socialist society that everybody wants to see. Let's join together and fight for that.
Thank you very much. Absolutely great. We've got just a few more people just asking to speak as well. We've got Adam now just going to come forward and say a few words. So please, a massive round of applause for Adam.
Hello. I am 13 years old, and I've only really got interested in politics in the last couple of years. But I think anyone who has a sense of morality should know that Jeremy Corbyn is the person who should lead our country. I think he's the only politician at the moment who is worth trusting. He is the only one who cares about the working class people, and he is the only one, who can make our country great. We need someone who will stand for working class people, and we need someone who is not a coward, who will answer questions when asked, and who will say what he thinks, who will speak his mind, because there are too many politicians at the moment who are too scared to say what they think, who are too scared to put their points across, and he's not. He will say what he thinks. He cares about everyone, not just Brits. He cares about humans as a species. He cares about his fellow man, and I think it's amazing that he exists. Not just that he's in politics, that a man like him exists, and a man like him can speak for us. Thank you very much.
Absolutely brilliant, Adam. Thank you. That's fantastic. Brilliant. We've got Terry wants to come forward and say a few words as well. Please put your hands together for Terry.
Well done, Adam. I'm about 60 years older than you. However, I'd just like to say that some of the speakers have said, well, we should all get together, which we should. But there are ways of doing it, and one of the ways for me is I was a member of the Labour Party in the 70s for 20 odd years. I recently joined. I'm one of them unfortunate people who hasn't got a vote because I joined before the cut-off date in January. So I haven't got a vote, and I'm not going to pay 25 quid to have a vote. However, I'm in the Labour Party, but I'd just like to say that we've had, I want to talk about the MP in Parliament, and rightly so, because they sat there, or people like through the 80s, you know, with, in fact, I went and heckled Tony Blair on Manchester Road in 1993 before he got elected, you know, and it's gone downhill ever since then. But what we've got to do, we're talking now about recall of MPs. We've got to bloody make sure that those MPs, if we get that recall, are turfed out, and we get people among the 150 or 180,000 people, which is what you read in the papers. We've got to get some of them people in some of them seats. And thank you very much.
Right, we've got 2 more speakers to go. So just to go up once again, if you can, any donations would be very much appreciated. But thank you again, everyone, for coming today. It's been, I think, absolutely fantastic how many people have come to speak as well. We've got Tony, who's just going to come forward now and say a few words.
My experience is similar to, in part, to the previous speaker. I was actually a member of the Dale Labour Party when we were told, this was probably, okay, I was in the era of being shown what little I knew about politics when I attempted to marry my first wife, and her Marxist father just showed me what politics was all about at that time.
That is precisely the kind of people. That's precisely the kind of people we need to have a dialogue with. Not to shout them down, but to talk to them. Because people read what's in the Daily Mail and the Sun, and they think Corbyn's not up for the job, purely because of the papers that they read. That's the kind of dialogue that we need to have with people like that. People who are against us, not people who are for us, so we can win them down.
Well, my experience of Labour Party politics pre-Blair was pretty sad. The majority of us, who these days used to call ourselves socialists, didn't want a little greasy bastard in. But we were told, get Blair in, just vote him in, and it'll all change. It bloody did. It changed for the worse. It was never as good as it was pre-Blair. Now, my kind of politics stems from the few perhaps old ones who were around here, who were around with IMG, IS then was International Socialists, not what IS stands for these days, where you've got the murderous. Our problem, we call it in our days as being the guys who took over countries and did with the countries what we wanted and what we shouldn't have done. we are to blame a lot. We've a lot to make up. And given the type of politics and power structure in this country that there is, Corbyn, I agree with him in theory, but it's different now. We've got to get this guy in with power and theory. At the moment, his own MPs trying to get rid of him. His own MPs, backed by various strata of the bureaucracy, the bloody power structure, and we have a problem ahead, because I bet a year ago that Trump would get in. I'm obviously dead against him theoretically, but the bastard is going to get in because of what the Americans are like intellectually. Where are they intellectually? Have they got any intellects? If they do get in, there's going to be some serious problems. And I do mean serious. I'm talking Third World War. You've only got to get the extreme right-wing American religious guys up against the extreme right-wing religious guys in the Middle East, and there you are. Israel, where I was for 5 years, seeing what communism on the kibbutz worked or didn't work, there are guys there in Israel that are so dangerous. They haven't got just 72 virgins waiting for them in heaven when they blow themselves up. They have got far worse philosophical structure. And believe me, if the religious right of America teams up, as they are doing at the moment, with the religious right in Israel, there is going to be serious trouble. So, I'm 75 now. I've been around a bit. My advice to wrap up is, don't join any gang. Keep your own mind, keep your own philosophy, go where it takes you. And don't let any bastards, the more power they've got and the more money they've got, the more you've got to be scared of them. Because they're the ones who are going to stick with the power. Nobody who has that money and power ever give it up voluntarily. So, all I can say is, if you think you've got the right answer, stick by it. If it's for the people, all well and good. Fight the good fight, and good luck.
Thank you. Right, just to say, just before we go, because I think we are going to have to clear ourselves away in a minute, but thank you again so much for everybody coming along, everybody who's spoken today, and just keep on doing what you're doing, basically. Keep supporting Jeremy Corbyn in whatever way you can do, and keep spreading that message to people. Just finally, before we go, we thought Adam would be the youngest member of the audience to speak. We've actually got Zach here, who's going to come and overtake that mantle now, I think, before we go.
Live in peace.
Thank you very much, Zach.
Hello, I'm not going to speak. I'm Jane Rendell from the Momentum Group in Calderdale. I'm just advertising a meeting that we've got on Thursday at the Orange Box in Halifax. Rebecca Long-Bailey, who's the Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury, John McDonnell's number 2, is coming to talk about the economic policies that they've been working on all year. So I hope that some of you may be able to come along. And we've also got Alice Mann, who some of you will know is the ex-MP for Halifax, really left-wing MP, who is going to lead a short discussion about what now within the Labour Party. Okay, hope to see some of you on Thursday.
Cheers, and one more big round of applause for everyone who's spoken tonight. And thank you so much again for coming.
Thank you.